Hi, everybody. John Harris here with you. A little weird because Billy's not here. Hopefully, everything's going all right. He had a um, has a medical situation with himself. It's appears to be nothing. Um, it's not nothing. It's a little painful. Well, probably quite painful, but not life threatening. But it is something that has to be treated right away. It came up very quickly. Um, so please excuse us for the last minute airing. We're trying to get this in. I'm trying to get this in at least before the result of game one today, which is over in Frankfurt, Germany. Technically, the Patriots are the home team against the Indianapolis Colts. So if this seems like a rushed show, it kind of is because we want to get it in before the substance of that game is played, or slim chance it'll get done actually before the kickoff. So, but I'm going to try and shoot for that. So we wish Billy well. He'll be fine, I believe, barring any very strange complication. He can explain later if he wishes to, or if he doesn't, he doesn't. It's his business. But he is away this week, and we wish him well, and he's in our thoughts and prayers. So, that being said, as Billy likes to say, let us go on and trudge forward. Last week, we both had decent weeks. Bill was 10-6 on his picks, and on his picks against the spread, he was 10-4 with two pushes, and 10-6 on his over/under. So he had a pretty good week. I was 12-4 on my regular picks. So I had a great week with picks. I was 7-7 with two pushes against the spread. So you wouldn't have lost money, but you wouldn't have made money with me. You would have been better off with Bill last week. Over/under, I was exactly 8-8. Same thing. The mediocre 50-50. So whatever I did, flip a coin, and you were fine. So that brings our season totals up to Billy at 85-61 on straight up picks, 56%. He's done really well gaining ground there. Against the odds, he's 71-59 and six pushes now, 55.6%. And compared to where he was, that's great. His last few weeks have been tremendous. So Bill's getting himself back up there. Over/under, he's still a little. He went for a clean sweep on the over last week. But we saw it came out okay, and it got him back in a hunt there, but he's still below 500, 64-71, and won our first over/under push last week. He's at 47.4%. Meanwhile, I am at picks 87-48, 64.4%. So if you're picking straight up without the odds, I've got a bit of an edge against Bill. 71-61-4. I am like a half game technically away from Bill because of pushes. So I'm at right with him, but he's just a slight tick ahead of me actually, because he's got more pushes. He's got two more. That's the difference. He's got two, technically they're ties or whatever you want to call them. But we're both pretty well over 50%. I'm at 54.2, and over/under. I'm doing a little better than Bill, 65-60 with five pushes at 52%. So here we go. All of that being said, it's time to make the rest of the picks for this week. We both Thursday night. Actually, we had a difference. Bill picked the Bears. I picked Carolina. I really thought Carolina was going to score in the end and give me a win there. They did not. So Bill's pick was dead on right. He took Chicago, and away he went there. So this morning's game, Indianapolis versus New England. We're both taking Indy. There's a 43-point over/under. We both took the under, and we both took Indy to cover that spread, which is 1.5 points. Houston and Cincinnati, we're both taking Cincinnati, even though Houston's playing great football. I'm going to change one thing here, though, only because C.J. Stroud's playing really well for Houston. What a great week he had. Player of the week, offensive player of the week. and tremendous play by that young man. He's getting better every week. But Houston is in Cincinnati this week. They still don't quite have enough horses to stick with the Bengals, who are red hot. Joe Burrow is hot as heck too. So we're both going with Cincinnati. We're Bill's going under the 47.5. I'm going over. That's the difference that I just changed to be honest with you. I think both teams will score quite a few points. Cincinnati will, I think, come out the winner, as does Bill. And we both think they'll beat the spread, which is 6.5. That's a little iffy, but I'm going to go with it too. Only because Houston's playing so hot. Same with Baltimore. They're playing Cleveland. Cleveland with a great defense, but not much offense. Baltimore with a great defense and a little more offense. So I am going with Baltimore. Bill's going with Cleveland. He's looking for the upset here. Baltimore picked by 6. Over under is 38.5. Bill took Cleveland across the board. I took Baltimore across the board. And we're both taking the over. San Francisco at Jacksonville. I just changed this. I've had a hunch for the last couple of days. I don't know if it's right, but that's how Bill and I do this. Is Bill looks at numbers and analytics, and I go ahead and do a eye test and hunches and what do I see, as well as some numbers if they really stand out. But it's an overall. Bill's taking the Niners, and he's going over the 45 points. So am I, as far as a spread. The Niners are picked by 3. He thinks the Niners will cover. Meanwhile, I think Jacksonville is going to win the game. Close game, I think. This is a statement game for Jacksonville. This is a game where they can show that they really belong with the big boys. San Francisco is getting a few guys back. Deebo Samuel's going to be back this week. Lawrence is going to be back on the offensive line. McCaffrey's still hanging in there for the Niners. So they're getting some guys back, but how healthy they'll be, we don't know for sure. And Jacksonville's playing really well, and they're becoming a really good team. I'm going with Jacksonville across the board on this. Green Bay at Pittsburgh. Steelers picked by 3, and the over-under is 39. We both took Pittsburgh. The only difference is I'm going to go with the under, just a hunch that Pittsburgh wins a low-scoring game against Green Bay. Neither offense is really that good. So 39, I think it'll be just under that, probably about 37 or so. Other than that, we're on the same page there. And I'm looking. We do have some notes on some of these games for Cleveland. Njoku, the tight end, is questionable with a knee, and so is Jones for Jacksonville. But I think they're going to be in there, unless I see something here that says that they're out or doubtful. We're gonna assume that everybody is playing for now. New Orleans, Minnesota. We both taken Minnesota across the board, though I think this could be close, but it is only a 2.5 point spread. So we're both going to take Minnesota across the board. We're both taking the over, which is at 41 points. That to me is risky, but I'm going to take it because I think Dobbs is going to play well again. And good for that young man. We're very happy about a guy who's been around some teams. He's already proven he can win a game or 2 or 3 or 8 or 9 or 10, I think. But last week's performance, not knowing anybody, forced into the lineup due to injury, forced onto the field, first week ever, didn't know his own teammates, and goes out and has a spectacular day when he came in, and led Minnesota to victory. Great game by that young man. Congratulations to him. The only guy that I know of that is a true rocket scientist, certified, playing in the NFL. So his career, after his career is over, he's got a career, and he's a very smart young man, and he proved it last week, as well as with physical talent. So congratulations to Josh Dobbs, and it'll be interesting to watch that game today. Tennessee at Tampa Bay. It's almost a pick 'em. Tennessee is picked by 1 point in Tampa Bay. I'm going with Tampa Bay. So is Bill. It's 38.5. We both think it'll be over. and no sense belaboring that point, except I think it'll be a good game. Will Levis is starting for Tennessee and has been named the starter, the rookie, for the rest of the year at quarterback. And it's time to, and he played well since he's been in there the last couple games. So it's time to for the Will Levis era. He was drafted high to begin in Tennessee. I'm sorry, folks. It's early. I'm trying to get through here so before kickoff. See what happens here. Detroit and the Chargers. It's in LA. That's almost like a home game for Detroit, though, because that's how those LA crowds have been going. Whether it's the Rams or the Chargers, they get quite a few fans from the opposite team. 3-point spread. We both went Detroit. We both went over on the 48.5 point over under. Atlanta and Arizona. Going to be interesting here. Kyler Murray's back in the lineup at quarterback. I think it's more to showcase him, see if they can figure out a way to trade him so that they can take a high quarterback in the draft, but you never know. But he has a guaranteed contract. That's going to be tough to do. 43.5 is the over under. I think I'm going to change here just for the heck of it. 43.5 is borderline. I'm going to go over so Bill and I have something to be a little different about, because I think it'll be close to that. Though Murray back in the lineup, we don't know how Arizona will do. It could be really good or really bad. Atlanta's not a high-scoring offense, and they got a couple guys that are questionable as well. So, though Taylor Heineke is still going to start for Atlanta instead of Ritter, I think that's a good move. But we'll see what happens with Arizona. We're both taking. I'm taking the over on the point spread, but we're both taking Atlanta. Oh no, Bill's going to take Atlanta. I have down here, so I guess I'll take it. It's an upset pick. I actually have Arizona, so I guess I must have been thinking Murray's going to do well. I don't know. I'm in a bit of a fog, a late night. So for the Public John event last night, so we're struggling a little bit to remember. I'm glad I wrote these down, my picks at least earlier. The Giants and Dallas. It's a 16-point spread, 38.5 point over under. We both took Dallas, the over. The Giants don't even have a quarterback, I don't think. Daniel Jones out for the year. Tyrod Taylor out for the year. They're starting Tommy DeVito, who was a couple weeks ago with a name like that, probably was making subs on. Here's a shout out to my friend John. Might have been making subs on Staten Island, and now he's quarterbacking for the New York Giants. They did pick somebody up. I can't remember who as a backup, but whoever it is, I can't remember who it is off the top of my head. Won't be ready anyway. So DeVito is your guy. Dallas by 16, and we're both taking the over 38.5 because I just think Dallas is going to run it up. They may not even have a choice. They'll probably have at least one defensive touchdown, if not two. So it's going to be the Cowboys big over the Giants. Washington and Seattle. We both took Seattle. Bill took the over, which is 45.5. I took the under, but I think Seattle will come out with a win. Sunday night tonight, the Jets in Vegas could actually be a good game. It's only a 1-point spread. Vegas is playing inspired because of their new coach and Antonio Bryant, the former great New York Giant Antonio Pierce. I apologize. A great New York Giant linebacker for years. Was an assistant, moved up after Josh McDaniels' firing, and they won last week, first time in a few weeks. And that's with a backup quarterback, and that's the way that's going to continue. I think Vegas, the Jets. We both took Vegas. It's a 1-point spread, and we both took the over 36. Plus Breece Hall, I believe, is hurt for the Jets. So that hurts their running game quite a bit as well. And last but not least, Monday Night Football, Denver and Buffalo. Buffalo's picked by 7.5 and a 47-point over under. We both think Buffalo will win across the board. The only difference is going to be Bill took the over 47 points. I think it might be under. Denver's defense has played a lot better since that 70-point gimme in Miami, and it played really well and actually beat Kansas City. and shut down their offense. So it's going to be an interesting game, I guess, at least hopefully for a while. But Buffalo across the board. Micah Hyde is questionable with an arm injury for Buffalo in the secondary, but I think they'll be fine. So there you have it. Differences in games. I took Arizona an upset over Atlanta. Let me scroll down the list here quickly with a vision test. I took Jacksonville again and an upset over San Francisco. Bill stuck with the Niners. I think that's going to be it as far as differences in games and picks. Only difference I see over under is a couple over unders. Bill took the under in Houston, Cincinnati. I took the over, which is 6.5. Or I'm sorry, 47.5. I took under on the Pittsburgh game, which is 39 points against Green Bay. Bill took the over. And I took the over on a hunch with Arizona beating Atlanta, which is already the pick against the spread. Bill took the under. I would think that would probably be the prevailing wager this morning in Vegas. Washington, Seattle, over under. I took the under 45.5. Bill took the over. And Monday night's game, Bill took the over 47. I took the under. So there you have it. That's it from the cheap seats this week. There is a couple other pieces of sports news to try to get to. There are a few signings and rumblings out of the Hot Stove League, but they were supposed to have first set of winter meetings, but did not because there's a flu going around and with some teams as far as management people. So they decided to cancel those meetings because the big ones come up later. And that's usually where you see some kinds of deals happen. Some people are signing what I like to call second tier, not big name free agents that have cut loose, but interesting guys are still out there. Ohtani, it looks like the Philadelphia Phillies are going to let Rhys Hoskins go into free agency because it appears Bryce Harper's ready to play first base full time and become a first baseman. There's also news that Nick Castellanos is on the trade block. If a nice offer comes in for him, they may trade him, but if not, then they'll hang on to him and make him still the right fielder. So there's some interesting moves. Aaron Nola is in free agency. The Phillies did make a qualifying offer. There's been no news yet as to whether he's going to take it or not. If he doesn't, he'll be into free agency, and the Phillies will have to look for a number 2 starter or make a better offer to Nola and negotiate with him. So all your teams have those kinds of things going on in baseball. In basketball, your in-season tournament has started. The real news that people are really talking about is, and I know we mention them here every so often, is how well Philadelphia, the 76ers, are playing after trading James Harden. Tyrese Maxey has stepped up. He's been good every time anyway, but you think he was a little harnessed before, maybe because of James Harden's play. Now Maxey's the ball handler. Now he's the guy controlling the game. It's a little more faster pace. The offense is a different system under Nick Nurse. They're playing very well. Embiid's having great nights. And Embiid and Maxey are only the second duo, I think, ever to achieve a certain amount of points and rebounds in wins. They're like 7-1. They're playing well. They beat the Celtics in a big game the other night. And Tobias Harris is starting to play like the Tobias Harris everybody thought he would be when they signed him. And a lot of people just think it's because these guys get to play a little freer on offense, and it starts to appear like it. I liked Nick Nurse when I heard he was hired, and so far it seems to be bearing fruit because I think they've improved just by that. And it's not a knock on Doc Rivers. I just think maybe his system didn't fit the personnel he had. And Nick Nurse's system, I think, is a little more universal for NBA players. Lakers are struggling. That's kind of big news. That's like, everybody has their magnifying glass on the NFL for Dallas, and in the baseball, it's usually the Yankees, and in football, it's Dallas. In the NBA, it's usually the Lakers. And it doesn't break my heart to see, and I don't know why. They've never done anything to me personally, but Lakers struggling makes my heart feel a little better. And anytime my heart can feel better, that's a good thing. So that's going to be it for us. It's just about kickoff time in Frankfurt, Germany. Enjoy the slate of NFL games this week, guys. We will talk to you soon. For my pal Billy Smith and the rest of the crew here at Public John Media, thanks everybody for tuning in, and we will talk to you soon. Have a great week, everybody.